Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to my Wednesday live news stream where I've just got some news articles for us to have a look at and a bit of news. I'm not going to bother with all this Disney stuff because I'm just not interested. So there we go. Anyway, we've got Wingrace, we've got Sci-Fi Quest in the chat already, so welcome to you two guys. Oh, what's happening here? I think YouTube, Rumble's having problems, I think. Let's have a look, let's have a refresh. See if it comes on. I just had a message saying we're having trouble. We're having trouble setting up the Rumble stream earlier on. I don't think it's going to work. Anyway, but hopefully we're live on Twitch. Yes, we are. And we're live on YouTube. Yep, we are. So anyway, but it's telling me we're having trouble streaming to your destination. I have no idea. No idea. So we'll see what happens. It might sort itself out. Very bizarre. Anyway, whatever. So maybe no Rumble tonight. Right. Anyway, so news. Right. Anyway, yes. Sci-Fi Quest is here. It's just reached 100 subs on his channel. So go over to Sci-Fi Quest and subscribe to his channel. He's not feeling too grand at the moment, so throw him some love. And Wingrace is here. Go and subscribe to his channel as well. He does hilarious things. Right, so let's get on with this news, shall we? But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe. Where is this? Over there. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already, throw some money in my general direction with the super thanks or super chat or whatever the hell. If it's working, sometimes my videos don't get monetized and it doesn't tell me why. It's most peculiar. And all that jazz. I'll also upload it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts later on. I'll put timestamps in so you can, if you're watching it after the fact, you can flip between the stories. Right, so let's get on with the news, shall we? All right, I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links in the description, as are links to my 2 books. They're down there, you know them. Right, off we go. Let's get the news. So, make myself... no, don't. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm all over the place. That's what we do. Right, off we go. Right, from Variety, Rebecca Rubin reports, Matrix 5 in the works with Drew Goddard as director, Lana Wachowski as executive producer. And there's Neo doing his super fast stuff. In one of the sequels, I don't know which one. Right, so Warner Brothers is going back to The Matrix, which is not surprising, really, but I don't know. Is it going to be a follow-up? We'll see, won't we? The studio announced that a 5th Matrix movie is in development. It'll be the first instalment without Lana or Lily Wachowski as directors. Remember when they used to be the Wachowski brothers? Instead, the Martian screenwriter Drew Goddard will handle filmmaking duties. He will also write the script and produce with his partner at Goddard Textiles, Sarah Esberg. Lana Wachowski, who helmed the most recent Matrix installment, 2021's Resurrections, which to be honest wasn't great, was it, is attached as an executive producer. It's not clear who from the Matrix universe, Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, have anchored all of the prior movies as Neo and Trinity, while Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jonathan Groff, Neil Patrick Harris and Priyanka Chopra Jonas joined in the most recent iteration, will return. That were a long split sentence, wasn't it? Why didn't they just put, it's not clear who from the Matrix universe will return, and then do all that as a separate sentence? But anyway, whatever. Plot details haven't been revealed. Oh, hang on, Wingrace is saying things. Hang on. Sci-Fi Quest says, not another Matrix, blooming heck. Yes, another Matrix. Wingrace says, Matrix 5, why did they skip 2 to 4? I like the Matrix Reloaded, and I quite like Matrix Revolutions as well, for the most part. Apart from Zion. You can do without Zion, can't you? You know, who cares about that? But I didn't mind them, to be completely honest. Right, plot details haven't been revealed, but Warner Brothers Motion Pictures President of Production, Jesse Ehrman, teases that the story will advance the fantasy world without straying too far from what made the series a success. You know what? I can't really remember what happened in the new one. I can't remember. I know it was back in the Matrix or something, or was it like another version of Neo or something in the Matrix, wasn't it? I can't really remember. And he'd forgotten he was the one. I don't know. I can't remember. Drew came to Warner Brothers with a new idea that we all believe would be an incredible way to continue the Matrix world by both honouring what Lana and Lily began over 25 years ago and offering a unique perspective based on his own love of the series and characters, Ehrman said in a statement. The entire team at Warner Brothers Discovery is thrilled for Drew to be making this new Matrix film, adding his vision to the cinematic canon the Wachowskis spent a quarter of a century building here at the studio. Well, of course, Drew Goddard's an amazing writer. He was Joss Whedon's running mate for a while, wasn't he? That Cabin in the Woods and stuff like that. And he wrote on Buffy and Angel as well, didn't he? I'm sure he did. Anyway, Goddard was nominated for an Oscar for writing The Martian. No, I didn't know he'd written The Martian, to be completely honest. The sci-fi adaptation directed by Ridley Scott and starring Matt Damon. His other feature film credits include writing Cloverfield. I didn't know that either, and I've watched that 1,000,000 times. I've not really paid any attention to the credits. And World War Z. Z. And serving as writer-director on The Cabin in the Woods, which is a great film, and Bad Times at the El Royale, which I've not seen. It is not hyperbole to say the Matrix films changed both cinema and my life, Goddard said. Lana and Lily's exquisite artistry inspires me on a daily basis, and I'm beyond grateful for the chance, excuse me, to tell stories in their world. Wingray says, Matrix and Animatrix are good. I don't mind the first two sequels as films, but they ruin the mystery and fun of the OG. I suppose you could say that. But then again, the Animatrix kind of does, because that explains it all, doesn't it? What happened to the Animatrix. And some of those are all right. And some of them I don't keen on. Anyway, The Matrix, which kicked off the franchise in 1999, or 199, is considered one of the most influential science fiction movies of all time. It inspired 3 sequels. Oh, pardon me. 2003's The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions. And did they come out the same year, those? Don't remember that. I thought they came out a year apart, but never mind. And 2021's The Matrix Resurrections. The 4th instalment, which arrived after an 18-year gap, was the first to be directed solely by Lana and was a massive box office disappointment because it wasn't very good. That's partly because The Matrix Resurrections, like Warner Brothers' entire 2021 slate, was available simultaneously on HBO Max for no extra charge. It grossed just $159 million worldwide against its $190 million budget. And you could argue that, yes, it being like day and date, as they say, affected its box office, but there were other films that were released simultaneously and did quite well. But that one didn't, because it just wasn't very good, in my opinion. Sorry about that. The only Matrix I'm interested in is that Matrix City Simulation with all the AI NPCs. Okay, I've not heard of that. I don't want to see it. Well, it'd be just like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 or something, won't it? But anyway, so there we go. We've got a Matrix 5 coming whenever. So I presume it'll be a few years away. 2027, 8, something like that probably. There's no announcement for when it's coming out, is there? I don't think. No, it doesn't say. I assume it'll be a couple of years. Oh, yardy. Oh, excuse me. Crikey. Right. So there we go. Very interesting. Hopefully it'll be good, because Drew Goddard's a good writer and a good director as well. So hopefully it'll be good. We will see. Right. Let me get rid of that and we'll move on. Got quite a few stories this week. Right, next one up. Sci-Fi Quest, I like this one. Unlock otherworldly secrets in new alien Romulus image, says Collider and Justin Clawans. Clawans, don't know. I wonder if he's got claw hands. Anyway, the film will take place between the original Alien and its sequel, Aliens. Yes, we know that. That's not the picture they're talking about, I don't think. I hope it isn't. Fans of the sci-fi horror genre are chomping at the bit for 20th Century Studios' Alien Romulus, the Fede Alvarez directed film that will help fill in some of the gaps in the iconic Alien franchise. Hope Dot Matrix is in it. I'm sure she will be. Voiced by AI Joan Rivers. With the film's release just months away, a new look at Alien Romulus has been revealed, depicting the film's interstellar laboratory, the Romulus Lab, which appears to be hiding some dark secrets. The new image comes courtesy of Bloody Disgusting, which posted it on social media. The image shows off the doors of the Romulus lab. Unsurprisingly, the doors are adorned with a mural of the lab's and the film's namesake, Romulus and Remus, the mythological founders of the city of Rome, from which Alien Romulus gets its title, and not the Romulans from Star Trek, Win Grace. While no other information was released about the laboratory, the image itself was plucked from an updated version of Alien Romulus's trailer, which shows the doors to the lab opening before the trailer quickly cuts away. What will occur inside this lab is anyone's guess. However, given the title of the film, the Romulus lab will likely play an integral role in the plot of the project, which is set between the original 1979 film Alien and its sequel 1986's Aliens. Few story details have been released, but Alien Romulus will follow space colonisiers. Is that French? Is that French for colonisers? I am a colonisier, n'est-ce pas? Who find themselves aboard a seemingly destroyed space station. The group, led by Kaylee Spaney's Rain, soon find out they are not alone. While Alien Romulus takes place after the battle between Sigourney Weaver's Ripley and the Xenomorph in the original film, it has been confirmed that the upcoming feature is a standalone project and not connected to the other films. Well, it's got aliens in it, we presume. Well, it's got facehuggers, we know that for a fact. Oh, we saw an alien as well, didn't we? A Xeno. So it's got that going for it, connection-wise. It's also been confirmed that the film isn't connected to Noah Hawley's upcoming FX series for the franchise, also called Alien. Bloody Tal Shiar, they get everywhere, don't they? They're like cockroaches. Looper nursing Romulus and Remus. Well, we're going to see that now. There we go. There's the image in question. Romulus lab. There's the wolf, the she-wolf, suckling Romulus and Remus above the Weyland-Yutani thingamabob. Oh, and there's them symbols that I forgot his name now. Cobb. What's his name now? The production designer did all these symbols, didn't he? And we remember a while ago we saw I found the like a thing telling us what all these symbols stood for, and I can't remember what they are. Can I find? Hang on. Oh no, because it'll appear. Never mind. Don't matter. Right. Anyway, is that the same wolf Loki gave birth to? Yes, it is exactly the same one. And it's the same one that Liam Neeson fights in The Grey. I don't know, I've never seen that film, but anyway. Beyond Spaney leading the charge, Alien Romulus will also star Isabella. Is it Merkhead or Merced? I say Merced. David Johnson, no relation because it's spelled differently. Spike Fern, Archie Renault, and Eileen Wu. I mean, fathered. Most of the group's roles have not been fleshed out, as I had. I kind of guessed that, I didn't think Loki yet, but anyway, whatever. But he never is a god, he can do anything, can't he? I forgot what I want now. fleshed out. Though from the footage that has been revealed, it appears that the majority will be joining Rain on the space station for at least part of the film. This means that some or all of them will likely come to meet what 20th Century described. Put Fox back in it. Or just put FX or something back in it, and with a tiny little O's. If you're not allowed to use Fox anymore. Just do something creative. We all miss the Fox bit. I mean, what they're going to do when they do another X-Men film? Because it always used to, the fade out from the 20th Century Fox, it used to leave the X for like a second, didn't it? And the fade out. They can't do that now, can they? They'll have to do it with the crossing spotlights or something. Anyway, I forgot what I want now. Will likely come to meet what 20th Century described as the most terrifying life form in the univoice. Alvarez directed Alien Romulus from a script he wrote with Rodo Sayaguez. Apologies. And also serves as an executive producer. The film is produced by Ridley Scott. Hopefully just by name only, and he's not been sticking his fingers and his, suggestions in. The director of the original film for his Scot-Free Productions banner alongside Michael Pruss, while Walter Hill produces for Brandywine Productions. Alien Romulus will be released in theatres on August 16th, 2024. The new image can be seen above. There it is. What's this down? What's that there? Oh, is that the poster? I've not seen that one before. Like a carving of an alien nurturing a baby with planets. Alien Romvulvus. Like iClavdivs. Anyway. Hopefully it'll be good. It looked good from the trailer, and I know Sci-Fi Quest is looking forward to it. Well, it was a teaser more than a trailer, wasn't it? Hopefully we'll get a proper trailer soon. And it looks good. I like Fede Alvarez's films. Hopefully it'll be decent. I wonder... excuse me. I wonder if all his characters... the first initial will spell something out, like in Evil Dead. All the characters, the main characters in the film. What were they? David, Emily, Mia, Olivia, and one begin with N. I can't remember. Neil, I can't remember. But they all spelled out demon, didn't they? So I wonder if they'll do something similar in here, where it'll spell alien. Except we've got somebody called Rain, so maybe she's the odd one out. She'll be the R from Alien Romulus. It'll be Alien and R. So all the others will be called, Alan, Liam, Ian, Alec, Estelle. I don't know. And Nigel. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I bet they do. Right, so there we go. So that's the lab. To the Romulus lab. You know what? It's giving me vibes of the text and stuff. Regular 3 or whatever. The lab in Star Trek 2. It's giving me vibes of that. They spell Sealer lives. Not that Romulans. But although it's still giving me regular vibes. Oh, I've just noticed there's a person standing there, isn't there? Is that a belt? Looks like it, doesn't it? Anyway. Right, let's move on. There's my F11. It's there. What's next? Some Star Wars news next. What we got today? We've got some Star Wars, some Star Trek, some Doctor Who, a bit of Megalopolis, and what's that one? A bit more Star Wars gaming news. A Rest in Peace, and the Hugo Awards. So that's what we've got coming up. Right. Did we ever see Sealer die? I don't think we did. She's still knocking about somewhere, surely, isn't she? Shirley. Sorry, Win Grace, I'm calling you Shirley again. Anyway, off we go. Star Wars news from Digital Spy, George Lewis. Star Wars Ewan McGregor addresses Obi-Wan Kenobi future. I love doing it, he says. I presume. Star Wars Ewan McGregor has addressed his future as Obi-Wan Kenobi, hinting that he could reprise his role once more. The star first played the iconic Jedi Master in The Phantom Menace, with the character return. It were a Padawan in The Phantom Menace. Get your facts right, Digital Spy. Excuse me. With the character returning for sequels, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Excuse me. After making voice cameos in both The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, McGregor made, briefly, I think The Force Awakens, he said, "You have taken your first step," or something like that, didn't he, or whatever. I think Rise of Skywalker, he was amongst all the other Jedi, wasn't he? Talking to her. He wasn't a master yet, never mind. What took him so long? For what? Don't know. Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Palpatine. McGregor made his long-awaited on-screen return as the character in the eponymous spin-off series, which premiered on Disney Plus in 2022, and it was hilarious. Should have had the Benny Hill theme in it and all sorts. Pardon me, bit of yakety sax. Despite being billed as a 6-part limited series, there have been rumours that McGregor could return to the franchise in some form, though the actor stressed that it probably wouldn't happen in the near future. The truth is, I've talked about, and I'm not doing a Scottish accent because I just sound like a drunk Glaswegian. The truth is, I've talked about having to cover for doing the Obi-Wan season for years. I had to lie about that, and I'm not lying about this now, he told Lad Bible. I don't know, there's been no phone call to me from Lucasfilm or Disney saying let's do another one, because it was rubbish. Obi-Wan was made as a limited series, and it's out, and people like it. Can you read that, by the way? Sorry, I'm just small writing. There we go, that's better, isn't it? I forgot where it was now. People like it. No, they didn't. People might have, your hangers-on or whatever may have told you that people liked it, but they didn't. Which I'm very, very pleased about. Maybe people laughed at it, which they did. I love doing it. I hope we get a chance to do another one, and I'm sure we will. I don't think you will, mate. I'm pretty sure I've got a few years yet before I'm the same age as Alec Guinness was in A New Hope, so there's time to tell more stories in there. Whilst, that bloody word, it might be a while before McGregor is seen as the Jedi Master once more, fans can see the actor take on the genre of historical drama, as he stars in A Gentleman in Moscow, an 8-part series from Paramount+. Obi-Wan Kenobi streams on Disney+, and give it a watch if you want to just have some belly laughs. Someone uses eponymous in almost every news stream. Yes, they do. Yeah. Well, particularly if it's, the series has got a name in it, like Andor, for instance, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, or whatever. He must have heard about someone at Disney wanting to reboot the original trilogy. Is that the latest rumour? Is that it? Anyway, yes, that's it. So there we go. No, they won't. He's not going to get a. They're not going to do a season 2, are they? Because season 1 was crap. Not completely crap from beginning to end. It had its moments, like any series has its moments. Because I remember at the time thinking, sometimes this wasn't bad. But then there were bits in it that were bloody hilarious, weren't there? But anyway, has Rumble come on yet? Let's have a look, see if it's started yet. No, it's not working, is it, for some reason, Rumble? No, it's not. Still saying there's something wrong. Just bear with me. Why isn't it working? No, just leave it. Never mind. I wonder why Rumble's not working. Curious. Anyway, never mind Rumble. Yeah, so they won't do it because it was just funny, wasn't it? It was just funny. I won't go through it all again. We've spoken about it before. Hiding the kid under the overcoat, which even she found hilarious and stupid. But what about that poor, not once snow speeders, well, the speeder pilot. Everybody was oh no, he's died. We'd only just met him, we didn't even know who he was. But anyway, that's by the by. Right, let's move on. What's next in the Star Wars news thing? This one. Another thing that probably won't happen. Hang on, I don't know where this is from. GameSpot. Oh, it says there. Right. From GameSpot, Land Pits. Star Wars, Daisy Ridley. It's nice to see, them using the apostrophe, correctly after an S these days. Anyway, Star Wars, I don't know why that happened in English. Why you don't have an S after an S. Like it's a Star Wars, you just say Star Wars, and then you assume that the apostrophe is there, don't you? Anyway, Star Wars, Daisy Ridley wants Finn to become a Jedi. Could Finn become a Jedi in the Rey movie? No, because Rey movie's probably not going to happen, but anyway. Plot details of the upcoming Rey, but then you never know because, because all this Disney stuff and Bob Iger's, safe, I suppose, in his job. Anything could happen. Anyway, plot details of the upcoming Rey Skywalker Rey Palpatine solo movie are still under wraps, even a release date, but actress Daisy Ridley fully wants one specific Star Wars Jedi to come to fruition. The movie will be set 15 years after the events of Star Wars The Rise of Palpatine, with Rey reportedly establishing a Jedi Order of her own. Daisy Ridley says she has an idea for a prized pupil. You would know. T-47 airspeed. We needed you, Sci-Fi Quest, on Monday for Congo, because we wanted to know all about the guns they were using and the aeroplanes that we saw in it. And we were saying Sci-Fi Quest did know all about this. And you weren't there. You were being ill, probably. Anyway. I forgot what I want now. Talking to Screen Rant, Ridley responded about finally making John Boyega's Finn a Jedi Knight, something that was hinted at since the beginning of The Force Awakens marketing launched. That is above my pay grade. That's not the first time we'll hear that phrase today. I don't usually read the articles, but I skimmed through one of them earlier on. And that phrase popped up. That is above my pay grade, she laughed. I would love to see that, but that is not a decision for me. Posters with Finn wielding a lightsaber were teased leading up to the movie's release. Then the trailer had him brandishing one in battle. Fan theories at the time had Finn pinned as a new student for Luke Skywalker. However, Disney had other plans, and it was a red herring for Rey's character to take the Jedi route. They just wanted to show that, you didn't have to be a Jedi to use a lightsaber, even though Finn were crap with it. I mean, he got his ass handed to him by another stormtrooper, didn't he? And then he got his ass handed to him again by Kylo Ren. But anyway. The big question, though, is if John Boyega would ever return to Star Wars. The actor has said he's open to any and all opportunities. I'm open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable, have a great cast attached and a terrific director, he said. So, yeah, I'm open to all opportunities. This is much like all Star Wars movies before release, fan theories, but also a chance to make things right. So just the first line, wasn't it, of The Force Awakens? This will begin to make things right. He would do stuff like that, wouldn't he? Or old, I forgot his name now. Max von Sydow. There we go. Make things right for Finn's character arc. Ridley mentioned at South by Southwest last month that she's eager to read the script when it's finally finished. Comments. Is there comments? Let's have a look. To become a Jedi, first you have to be Force sensitive, which Finn is not. Well, we don't know, do we? We don't know, do we? That was the rumour that... I can't be bothered reading the comments. That was the rumour that what he were trying to tell Rey all the way through Rise of Palpatine, that he could feel the Force. Anyway. Sorry, I was out for the count most of Monday. Yeah. Is it just a bug you've picked up and you just, Apparently there's something going round, apparently. All over the world, it seems. Everybody's getting ill. Must be going through the tail of a comet or something, probably. Anyway. But yeah, I don't think he'll come back. But you never know. They might have like a cameo, but I don't think they'll bring him back as a main character. If they do the film, that is, even that's up in the air. But it was rumoured that the Acolyte were never going to see the light of day, wasn't it? And it's happening. It's coming. But anyway, in June. Anyway, so there we go. So she wants Finn to become a Jedi. So, I mean, it's after 15 years, so he should be teaching alongside her, shouldn't he? The new class of whatever year they're going to call it. What they'll call it, ABY. I've always hated that in Star Wars, the naming, the calendrical system after the Battle of Yavin. So is that official in the galaxy, is it? Official dating? Anyway, whatever. Right. Anyway, right, so let's move on. Enough of that nonsense. Star Trek now. Here we go. This one's from Screen Rant. John Orquiola. Star Trek Discovery's finale epilogue. Oh, pardon me. Just saying Star Trek Discovery is making bile rise. It's a complete wrap-up, promises showrunner. Star Trek Discovery's Season 5 ends with an epilogue to wrap up the series, and showrunner Michelle Paradise promises it won't leave fans hanging. Won't leave fan hanging. Oh, God. They'll all be crying. The last scene, everybody will be crying. Bet they are. And she'll be saying, the last line will be, "Let's fly." That's how it'll end. Star Trek Discovery showrunner, hang on. "I do not like the back zipper in these uniforms, or whatever that is." I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that, yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah, is it yeah, must be. You'd have to have somebody to get you dressed every morning, wouldn't you? You'd have to have a dresser, or somebody, what they call him, like a Batman. Not Batman, I'm Batman, that's what they call them, don't they? Somebody to dress you, get your gear ready. All these young officers. Anyway. Fans? What fans exactly? That's why I said fan. The people that make it, I suppose they're fans, the people that are in it. Star Trek Discovery showrunner Michelle Paradise promises that the epilogue in the series finale will be a complete wrap-up. I'm sure there'll be something up. This is the super future. It should just be nanotech matter that just makes whatever you want. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe, I don't know. It's not a super future, though, is it? It is in some ways, but mostly it's rubbish. Anyway, like I said, the programmable matter's the most futuristic thing in it. Really, isn't it? Anyway, Star Trek Discovery Season 5, which is the final season, premieres Thursday, April 4th, tomorrow on Paramount Plus. Means I'm going to have to do a bloody review, doesn't it? Oh, God. Discovery's cast and crew didn't know Season 5 would end the series during production. I don't have to, do I? I don't think I did reviews for the other seasons, did I? I don't think I did. I don't think I even watched Season 4 until, way after the fact. Can't remember. I'll have to look back and have a look. Look in me playlist and see if there's a Star Trek Discovery Season 4 reviews. Anyway, they ain't fans. They get paid to make that crap. Yeah, but they'll still say they like it. Well, yes, programmable matter and the same torpedoes they used in the original series. Unbelievable. 1,000 years in the future. It's like 1,000 years in the future, but it doesn't seem any more advanced. Like the difference between like the original series and TNG, it seems that they've just gone like 100 years into the future, doesn't it? But no, 1,000, 900 and whatever. Anyway, by the by, Discovery's cast and crew didn't know Season 5 would end the series during production, but Paramount Plus allowed for 3 days, that's good of them, of additional filming directed by Olatunde, I can't remember how to say his bloody name, Olatunde Osunsanmi. I bet they call him Ozzy or Ollie. I bet they call him Ollie on set. I bet it is. To create a coda for Star Trek Discovery's story and characters. They might just repeat the one they did at the end of Season 3. Because that was like a series wrap-up, wasn't it? Might just use that. At WonderCon. Is that the one that Chris Gore went to in Los Angeles? Is it Los Angeles where it is? And there was nobody there. It's supposed to be one of the big conventions. It's like a mini San Diego Comic Con or whatever, isn't it? Along them lines. There were no bugger there, even on Saturday. Anyway, at WonderCon, they were giving away booths and stuff to get people in. At WonderCon, Star Trek Discovery screened Season 5's premiere episode, followed by a panel with Michelle Paradise and Ollie, moderated by Scott Mantz. He gets about, doesn't he now? Answering a fan question, Michelle Paradise spoke about filming. I bet they were just being, polite. Spoke about the fans. Spoke about filming additional scenes for Star Trek Discovery's Epilogue and how they aren't closing out the series with a cliffhanger that will never be resolved. Read her quote below. I will. Getting the opportunity to shoot some additional days, it feels like we wrap up the series in such a satisfying way. I can tell you there won't be lingering questions. It's not, oh my gosh, are they all going to die? And you're never going to find out. It's a complete wrap-up. It'll end like bloody Enterprise ended. It'll start showing, it'll go back in time or something. It'll start with Discovery and we'll hear the Space, the Final Frontier, and then it'll show, the other ships from the series, ending with the original series Enterprise, or maybe the NX-01 or whatever, and it'll do that, but going backwards instead of going forwards like Enterprise did, because they're going backwards, showing the origins. That's going to lead into this mystery film that's coming out. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Don't even worry that Discovery would be slower than any future ship at warp. At least the scale did change. It's got its spore drive, hasn't it? Do they even use warp? Yes, they do occasionally, don't they? I've seen it. I've seen them use warp. Because the Discovery were going at warp, wasn't it? I remember one episode, I think it was Season 5. Or maybe it was Season 4. I can't remember. But when they were in the future, and they were going at warp, behave, bloody cat. They were going at warp, and somehow to go up the pylons into the warp nacelle and plant a bomb or something to stop the ship, because it were at warp, and they just went up the pylons and went into the warp nacelle, planted the bomb, came back out. They obviously forgot that it now had detached nacelles. Ooh, just a minute. Bloody cat. Where were I? Yeah, detached warp nacelles. And they seem to forget. How did they get from the pylon into the warp nacelle? They didn't even mention it. Anyway. Earlier in Star Trek Discovery's WonderCon panel, Michelle Paradise elaborated on what it meant to the cast and crew to be able to film the epilogue scenes for Discovery Season 5's finale. Our studio and network were incredible with this. This is a quote. When we found out it was going to be our last season, they gave us the opportunity to shoot some additional days, to shoot some additional material. I have to say that gave us the opportunity to wrap it all up in a way that is going to feel, I promise you, it's going to feel so satisfying to all of you who have invested in this show. And I liked Season 1 of Discovery. I've even got a disco t-shirt. Honest, I have. The nacelles originally were supposed to connect for warp. Well, they didn't, did they? Where were we? I forgot where I was now. And it meant so much to us personally, who have given so much to this show, that we have had the opportunity to do that. And it's so rare that that happens, but they all know that what this show means to you and to all of us. And they gave us the chance to do that, and I think you'll be really happy. Oh, we haven't done yet. Star Trek Discovery Season 5 will end with a 2-part finale, Lagrange Point, directed by Jonathan Frakes, and the final episode, Life Itself, directed by Olatunde Osunsanmi. Ollie. While nothing has been revealed about the final chapters of Star Trek Discovery, the series finale will conclude Discovery Season 5's treasure hunt story. Star Trek Discovery Season 5, they keep saying that, don't they? Revolves around Captain Michael Burnham. Do we still know why they call him Michael? I have no idea. Sonequa Martin Green, leading the USS Discovery on a hunt. They should have a fella called Shirley as well, then, shouldn't they? USS Discovery on a hunt for an ancient power source derived from an 800-year-old Romulan vessel. Is it a forced quantum singularity? Michelle Paradise also mused that Discovery Season 5 is thematically about endings. Variety's cover story about the future of the Star Trek franchise finally confirmed that the next Star Trek TV series, Star Trek Starfleet Academy, is set in the 32nd century after Star Trek Discovery. This lends the possibility of Discovery's characters, with the obvious being Lieutenant Sylvia Tilly, Mary Wiseman, appearing in Starfleet Academy. However, and by the way, there's a thing on YouTube, like a little documentary about Star Trek Discovery from Paramount. It's on the Paramount Plus channel, and interviews with cast members and stuff. And I'm no oil painting, but I know there's Mary Wiseman. She was kind of cute early on in Star Trek Discovery, but it's looking rough now. Maybe it's motherhood. I don't know, but it could have been the makeup. I don't know, but anyway. Q snaps his fingers and everything turns back into canon. If only. If only. Anyway, Sylvia Tilly appearing in Starfleet Academy. However, any potential Discovery cameos in Starfleet Academy or hoped for future plans for Discovery, such as a streaming movie after Star Trek Section 31, are classified. Star Trek Discovery Season 5 will indeed be a complete ending, but in Star Trek there are always possibilities. Hey, Spock, what do you want on your hot dog? Surprise me. So there we go. It'll be rubbish. It will. It'll be rubbish. I hope it's not. It might surprise us by being good, but I doubt it. More likely they'll bring in Wesley Crusher over Q. With his stupid face. He hosts that thing that I mentioned that's on YouTube. And it's such a punchable face. I hate him. Anyway, never mind. So there we go. A complete wrap-up. Or a complete cock-up. One or the other. Probably the other. Right, let's move on. Tomorrow we'll see episode 1. How many episodes are we seeing tomorrow? Is there 2? Are they showing 2 episodes tomorrow? Or is it just 1? I can't remember. Does it say on Amazon? No, well, it'll be on Paramount Plus through Amazon for me. Just bear with me while I'm looking. See if it says. Where are you? Prime Video. Go to my channels. Paramount Plus. I'm sure I clicked that. Click it again. Star Trek Discovery. What's it just say episodes? Why have you just gone on to season 3? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, not even showing season 5 yet. Still season. You'd think they'd have it there, wouldn't you? As like a placeholder. What episodes they were going to show, even though you couldn't actually. Never mind then. while I'm here, I'm just going to check my channel. Just bear with me again. Just talk amongst yourselves. My channel, my playlists. Now then, right, sort by. Never mind. Should be an alphabetical order thing. Star Trek. Actually, there isn't one. I don't have a playlist for Star Trek Discovery reviews. No, I mustn't have reviewed them then. I mustn't have reviewed them. I've got me Picard and Strange New Worlds, The Orville, but no Star Trek Discovery. So, no, I probably didn't review them then. So, there we go. I didn't think I did. Anyway. Just like the future Wes actor from season 1 of TNG. Can't remember. Yeah, it didn't look much like him, did it? I think I do remember. It didn't look much like him, did it? Wesley needs to meet his brother. Oh, yes. His half brother, yeah. Jack. Oh, no. Yes, Jack, yes. 2 episodes, right, okay, fair enough, cool. 2 episodes. Anyway. Right, let's move on. Sticking with Star Trek and Screen Rant. John Orquiola again. Busy, isn't he? Deep Space Nine actor, is it Nana Visitor or Nana? I've heard people say Nana, but it sounds silly. I've always said Nana Visitor, but whatever. I'm going to say it again. Nana Visitor's book about women in Star Trek releases first look images. The amazing women of Star Trek are explored in Open a Channel, a new upcoming book by Star Trek Deep Space Nine's Nana Visitor. And then we get, I presume that's the cover. Women in Star Trek. Open a and there's Beverly Crusher and Uhura and Captain Janeway and Major Kira, Colonel Kira, and him, Michael, and 7 of 9 and Ortegas, yes, Ortegas, and La'an. I like La'an. And there's Windgrace's favourite, Sealer. Anyway. Ignoring Prodigy like everyone else. Well, and Lower Decks. Anyway. Open a Channel, A Woman's Trek, a new book celebrating the women of Star Trek by Star Trek Deep Space Nine actress Nana Visitor has released first look images inspired by Nichelle Nichols' Lieutenant Nyota Uhura of Star Trek the original series. Nana Visitor, who plays Colonel Kira, they got that right, didn't they? Nerys on Deep Space Nine, interviewed almost every woman who has starred in Star Trek, including Star Trek Voyager's Kate Mulgrew, Star Trek Deep Space Nine's Terry Farrell, Dishy Dax, Star Trek The Next Generation's Denise Crosby, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Rebecca Romaine, Melissa Navia, and Christina Chong. Because there's like the women to men ratio on the on Pike's Enterprise is like 3-1, isn't it? Anyway. Now available for pre-order, new images of Nana Visitor's book, Open a Channel, A Woman's Trek, showcases many of the luminous women who portray some of Star Trek's greatest characters. Open a Channel. Oh, for God's sake, what's the full title? Released on October the 1st. Check out the preview images below. There we go. There's the cover. Let's see what's next. And there's an introduction. There's just going to be the whole book here, is there? But she's very lovely, by the way. I met her at a convention. She's still gorgeous. Erica Ortegas, Tasha, yeah. Star Trek Returns. Aiden's talking at the top of the stairs. More people. More women. I don't know how she's doing now. Oh, what's her face? Jennifer Lien. You know, she's had a troubled life, hasn't she? Anyway. Where's Esri? Maybe she's going to appear in some of these images. Bet she didn't get Pulaski. I don't know. We'll see. Oh my God, she skipped Enterprise 2. Yes, are we going to see any from the NXO? We're going to see T'Pol or anybody. They called the bear. Damn, I'm already in my room. Let's have a look. What we got? Strange New Worlds, crew. Nope, that's it. That's it. They forgot about Enterprise and Pulaski. And poor Esri Dax. Maybe there's more images here, so that's what's going on here. But these are from the series, aren't they? Look at Dishy Dax. And the lovely Beverly. She doesn't like shaking hands at conventions, though. She does fist bumps. With the bottles of, hand sanitizer. I'm not kidding. See, first season. I think this is from first season, isn't it? It looks all right, apart from that big bloody whatever that is on the forehead. But, but now, ooh, crikey. Ooh, Nurse Chapel. Ooh, Lana. Ooh. Mystique. Anyway, whatever. Right, starting. Jolene, I could see skipping it, but Linda Park, swoon. I've never liked Linda Park. I don't. Maybe it's because I'm not a fan of a character, but she's never done it for me as Linda Park. I think she's a bit skinny for me. But anyway. Starting with Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura, the Star Trek franchise boasts one of the greatest rosters of female characters in pop culture. Today, Star Trek features Starfleet admirals like Kate Mulgrew's Catherine Janeway, starship captains like Sonequa Martin Green's Michael Burnham, and Jerry Ryan's 7 of 9, yay! Doctors like Gates McFadden's Dr. Beverly Crusher, and nurses like Jess Busher's Christine Chappell. Pilots like Melissa Navier's Erica Ortega's, scientists like Terry Farrell's Jadzia Dax, and Nicole DeBeur's Esri Dax, who are cute in her own way. And heroic survivors like Christina Chong's Laan, Nooney and Singh. I still don't like that they've called her, they've given, it's a Nooney and Singh. I think it's essentially not going to go anywhere. I think they just went with the shock value at the beginning. Oh, we're going to have a Singh, Nooney and Singh, a relative of Khan. But they've not really gone anywhere with it, have they? Apart from mentioning it a couple of times. She had a troubled upbringing because of it. And that's it. But anyway. I wonder which episode they promote Burnham into Galactic President. It's coming in. It's going to be like John Sheridan of Babylon 5. Going from captain to president. It'll happen. It'll happen. Star Trek's iconic female characters have inspired countless women to pursue careers in science, medicine, engineering, technology and the arts. Oxford comma there. Beyond the actors and creative visionaries of Star Trek, in Opener Channel, Nana Visitor also interviews many real-life women who have been inspired by Star Trek to become soldiers, doctors, scientists and astronauts. Pardon me. Oh, excuse me. Including astronaut Samantha Cristoforetti, while she was in orbit around Earth on the International Space Station. Opener Channel. A women's trek is a celebration of Star Trek's women whose time has come. It's available for pre-order at Amazon. There we go. Very interesting. I won't get it, but, good for Nana. And it looks fully illustrated, so it's probably a nice read. Anyway, so there we go. So good for you, Nana. Anyway, I thought they were going to Tyler Ann into that planned Sung spin-off show they quietly shoved aside. Could have done, couldn't they? There were rumours they were going to do the, I forgot what they called it now. They called something like SETI Alpha 5 or something like that. Robert Meyer Burnett started, well, he read it out, didn't he? He read the script out because he got hold of it. He read it out on his show and then got a phone call from, I think, Nicholas Meyer himself, I believe. And he had to pull the episode down, didn't he? Delete it from YouTube. So the rumours they were going to do that, weren't they? So maybe they could somehow Add her in that. Somehow, I don't know how, but maybe. Anyway. Anywho. But remember, in Strange New Worlds, they haven't come across Khan yet, have they? Remember, it's still a historical figure, isn't he, from 200 years in the past or whatever, isn't it? So they don't know he's still floating about out there in his in the Botany Bay. They announced a SETI Alpha podcast 2.5 years ago and never mentioned it again. Oh, you mean that? Oh, right. Oh, that's not a proper show. Oh, right, I mean a podcast. Right. Okie dokie. Right, anyway, let's move on. Hang on, let's get rid of that. I think we've still got some Star Trek news. Yes, we have. Here we go. From comicbook.com, this one, Adam Barnhart. Star Trek Alex Kurtzman explains why he hasn't greenlit Picard Legacy sequel. He's going to lie. Alex Kurtzman says the decision to make a Picard sequel is above his pay grade. He's just lying. It's not. If he wanted to do it, he could push for it and they'd give him the money for it, like he's pushed for his Section 31 and his Starfleet Academy, but he's not pushed for it because he don't want it to happen. Pig in it, bloody Alex Kurtzman. Thank God we saw him get done in Total Recall. Anyway, for the first time in a few years, the future of the Star Trek franchise isn't as clear as it has been in recent memory. The future of Paramount isn't as clear as it has been in recent memory, to be completely pizzled frank. Though Paramount has a Section 31 film in the works and has hired a new writer for Star Trek 4, a lot of other projects that once had significant steam behind them have seemingly fizzled. While Patrick Stewart returned for 3 seasons as Jean-Luc Picard in a self-titled series, eponymous, one might say, fans were hoping to see more of the beloved, or is it beloved, however you want to pronounce it, character and actor. Count writer Alex Kurtzman, the current architect of all things Star Trek, amongst those who would like to see Stewart return. Unfortunately for fans and Kurtzman alike, the writer says the writer's the bloody producer of all things Trek. He's the big cheese, isn't he? The writer says he doesn't have the power to greenlight a potential Picard follow-up. No, but he can push for it, can't he? He can go to the higher-ups and say, the fans really want this. I think we should do it. Like he did with his bloody Section 31 and his bloody Starfleet Academy. If I had a magic greenlight button for Star Trek Legacy, and it was all on me, I'd push that button today, Kurtzman lied in a new chat with Den of Geek. Right now, it's beyond my pay grade, except it's not. According to CBS President George Cheeks, however, it's possible a Picard sequel could arrive soon, or could soon arrive. Whatever. It's just a matter of he and Kurtzman agreeing on a plan moving forward. See, it's in Kurtzman's ballpark. Wingray says nobody's asking for a Picard follow-up. They want Legacy. Yes, they do. But it is kind of a follow-up to Picard, isn't it? But we want Legacy. Keep Patrick away in a creative sense. Yes. Star Trek remains one of the most important franchises for Paramount Global and Paramount Plus specifically, Cheeks told Vulture earlier this month. There's so much great opportunity with the franchise, and it's really about the cadence and the timeline of it. We don't want to offer up all these amazing premium drama series at once. We can't afford it. We want to time it out appropriately. Luckily, we have this incredible partner in Alex Kurtzman. And we all work together to sort of manage long-range planning across many years to figure out what's the right cadence for dropping new Star Trek series. Basically, you get Alex Kurtzman saying, I want this, and I want this, and I want this. Unless he's busy doing something else, like his Clarice series and stuff like that, and then other people can sneak in. It can happen. It can happen. It's not over many years. So there's a lot we're focused on, but it should not suggest to you a scaling back. But it is. Because they don't want to greenlight anything, with this uncertainty about Paramount's future. They don't want to, greenlight things. There's a tremendous amount of focus and prioritising of the Star Trek franchise. All 3 seasons of Picard are now streaming on Paramount Plus. But like I said, the going forward, these films and stuff, aren't there? The Star Trek 4 apparently has got a screenwriter. There's another film that's going to be like an origin story for all of Star Trek, whatever that means. Maybe it's a biopic about Gene Roddenberry. I don't bloody know. But anyway. As they all do, they lie and do the opposite of what the audience want, then blame white male bigots for it being terrible. Yes, they do. They haven't actually announced any new Star Trek in years. The only stuff they are bringing out has been in the pipeline for years. Stuff that, like Star Trek 4, the film, that's been going, since Star Trek Beyond, been waiting for that, haven't we? Well, some people have. But like I say, Section 31, he wanted that since season 2, wasn't it, of Discovery, so 2018 or whenever that came out. And this Starfleet Academy is just, I think that's just Alex Kurtzman's, his pride and joy little series, isn't it? That's all his. Anyway. What's up, Princess? Where are you? What are you doing there? Do you want to go outside? It's windy. Just a minute. We'll let the cat out. Just bear with me. What's the matter? She's gone out. Bless her. Right. So, you know what I think? Well, mid-2025. That's my prognostication, isn't it? I'm saying, I think we will see Star Trek Legacy eventually. I don't think it'll be the Star Trek Legacy exactly that we want. But I think we'll get it in some form. But it'll be a bit different, I think, to what we're hoping. There'll be different characters, maybe, and stuff like that. But I think we will get it mid-2025. No, we won't. No, we won't. We can all pick numbers out of our bottoms, can't we? And say things. But anyway, right. So there we go. Let's move on. More Star Trek. This one's from Giant Freaking Robot. Christopher Isaac, not the singer, songwriter. Hang on. I'm not picky. I don't need Legacy. I just want a follow-up in that period with some characters. Yes, so do I. I say I'd like to see what we're all wanting. I don't want it on the Enterprise G. I want it on the Titan A, and then we'll have another Enterprise G. But I want to see Captain Seven and I suppose Raffi and Jack Crusher and Q popping up from time to time, teasing Jack. Anyway, right. So, Giant Freaking Robot. Here we go. Ernie Hudson, Christopher Isaac wrote this one. Ernie Hudson lost Star Trek role because he wasn't sexy enough, he says. We just saw on Monday in Congo, didn't we? Ernie Hudson played Munro Kelly. His favourite role, apparently. Ernie Hudson certainly has not had a career to be disappointed in, receiving regular acting work starting in the 70s all the way up to the present day. His role as Winston in the 1984 Ghostbusters is so fondly remembered that he is now reprising the role 40 years later in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So he has done pretty well for himself. However, one iconic series Ernie Hudson missed out on being a part of was the legendary Star Trek franchise. And it turns out he got passed over for the lead role of Star Trek Deep Space Nine for a reason no one likes to hear. He was not considered sexy enough for the part. Poor Ernie. Not the fastest milkman in the West. Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson recounted his near brush with Star Trek fame for Gizmodo while doing an interview to promote Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. He discusses auditioning for a role on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He would ultimately lose out on that lead part of Benjamin Sisko to Avery Brooks, that chap in The Pale Moonlight. They always show that, don't they? That photo of Avery Brooks from The Pale Moonlight. Anyway. Or in The Pale Moonlight. Right, the audition. Hudson has no hard feelings towards Brooks, but can't help but sound a bit sad that the reason he was passed over was because apparently he did not exude enough of an attractive energy for the part. The audition, I thought, it went very well, said Ernie Hudson of his Star Trek tryout. And then I got a note from the producers saying, we want Ernie to come back, but this time tell him to be sexier. Now, I don't know what you do with that. Sexier, what, as opposed to... I don't know. Be sexy, exude sexiness. I'm falling for no banana in the tailpipe. That sort of sexy. Ernie Hudson then recounts how he attempted to give the Star Trek producers what they were looking for. His interpretation of being sexier involved going back for another audition with his collar turned up to give off an Elvis vibe. According to Hudson, before he could complete his monologue, the producers asked him to please stop. He was aware enough to realise that meant he would not be getting the role. So that's sexy, is it? Isn't that? Bless him. I love Ernie, says Wingrace. I would love to see him in Trek. I don't think I could see him pulling off the Sisko role as it turned out. But this is it, though. We wouldn't have known any different, would we? If he had won the Sisko part, we'd have just known Ernie Hudson as Benjamin Sisko, wouldn't we? We would never have known Avery Brooks. So I think he'd have done all right because he's a good actor, and I think he'd have been fine as Sisko. But it'd be nice to see him again as another character. Why didn't they bring him back? They obviously didn't like him that much, did they? Or maybe he didn't want to come back, I don't know. Anyway, as embarrassing and disappointing as it must... What are you in Star Trek, though? I've got this thing in my head of seeing him in a Star Trek episode. Anyway, I think he would have been great, but I think the story would have taken a different turn. I'm going to check now. Has Ernie Hudson been in Star Trek? I can see in my head him in one of them TNG, not a uniform, but them like civilian clothes that TNG people wore. Am I imagining it? I don't know. But anyway. Has he been in Star Trek? No, not that one. No, let's look on IMDb. Just talk amongst yourselves again. Right. Let's see. I bet he ain't. Now, because I've said it. Oh, press the wrong button. Right, let's go all the way back. Ghostbusters. Not going that far back. I think it was a video game. What we up to 2014? Keep going. He's been in Stargate SG-1. Has he? I don't remember that. As Pernod. I don't remember him being in Stargate SG-1. I bet Windgrace remembers him in Stargate SG-1. Come on, 1999. I'm still scrolling. Ghostbusters 2. Nope, don't look like he's going to be in Star Trek. I must have imagined it or just created it in my head. Yep, he wasn't in Star Trek, but he was in Stargate. Anyway, right. He was an alien general or something. Oh, right. I can't remember. Yes, I do remember. I I think. What did the general in the episode where the Prometheus got destroyed? Well, that one, wasn't it? The Ori satellite destroyed the Prometheus. It was in that, wasn't it? Yes. I think it was. Yes. Do remember now. Anyway. As embarrassing and disappointing as it must have been to lose out on such a major role, Ernie Hudson is still able to laugh about his brush with Star Trek fame. He notes that he really was passionate about the opportunity as a fan of the franchise. Hudson says that he is a big sci-fi enthusiast because he enjoys seeing glimpses of what could be possible in the future. He mentioned that coming from a time before cell phones existed, when cell phones did wind up being invented, he felt like he was seeing the sci-fi genre become reality. Well, yeah, I'm the same. I'm old enough to know, when Pong things, you could plug them into your TV, them like, I think in the UK they're like grandstand consoles. They're called grandstand. I don't know what you called them in America, but you just had like a paddle, played Pong on your TV. That was the most amazing thing ever when I was a kid. Plus, he's the head of Quantum Leap in the new series. I've not seen it, so I don't know. Anyway, however, it is not all sad memories for Ernie Hudson's near casting in Star Trek. Why? I keep getting this image of him in TNG civilian clothes. That purpley mauve colour. Maybe there was an actor that looked a bit like him, maybe. Anyway, however, it's not all sad memories for Ernie Hudson's near casting in Star Trek, because as it turns out, in hindsight, the producers really did enjoy his performance and wished they had given him a chance in the role. However, for Hudson, hearing that was really only salt in the wound. I did meet the producers later on, Ernie Hudson said after his Star Trek audition, who said they regretted not giving me the part, which is always something you don't want to hear. Hudson would rather have been told he was not even close for the role, knowing he barely missed out on such a desirable role was poor comfort and left him feeling like he lost the part through no fault of his own. Even if Star Trek did not wind up working out for Ernie Hudson, he has still had a great career since that time. They should have him come back as Benjamin Sisko, but different from, he's come back from the Prophets, and they've not got him quite right, so he doesn't look like Avery Brooks anymore, because Avery Brooks don't want to do it anymore. So they get Ernie in. And we're going up to Jake and saying, "Hello, Jake, it's me, Dad." Anyway, even if Star Trek did not wind up working out for Ernie Hudson, he has still had a great career since that time. Beyond Ghostbusters, he has done so much great movie and TV work, including currently being one of the stars on Quantum Leap. Win Grace. And even getting his iconic sci-fi franchise appearance all these years later with a recent part in Star Wars The Bad Batch. Did he? Oh, I don't know. Obviously a voice part, because that's animated. But there we go. Oh, is that it? There we go. So they were this close to being Benjamin Sisko. I think it'd have been good, to be honest, because everybody likes Ernie Hudson. Right, so fascinating. Fascinating. I need a drink. What time is it? Right, what's next? Sticking with Star Trek, the last Star Trek one. This is like an and finally Star Trek. From Art Daly. Not somebody called Art, not Arthur Daly. Sci-Fi Quest knows who he is. Art Daly. Do we have a byline? Supan Deb. Star Trek fan leaves behind a collection like no one has done before. The Emissary. Oh, the Ernisary. See, my eyesight's that bad. Pardon me, the R and N became one. The Ernisary. Very good. Right. This is part of the massive collection of Star Trek memorabilia left by Troy Nelson, who died in February, from Washington State. Right. New York, New York. Troy Nelson and his younger brother Andrew were almost inseparable. The two youngest of six. Let's make this a bit bigger for you. The two youngest of 6 were born 2 years apart. They lived together in their childhood home in Bremerton, Washington. Hang on. There we go. For more than half a century. Near their home, there is a park bench on which they carved their initials as young boys. Can I just buy his house and move in with the collection? Seems easiest. Yes, it probably would be. Might be cheaper. Oh, I've got a tickling nose. I'm going to have an argument. Nose is tickling. Anyway, where were we? Carve their initials. Right, the Nelson brothers never married or had children. Didn't they become singers? Not them Nelsons, have they? Long blonde hair. Something. Holy crap! It's the children of the corn. That Nelson. Anyway, they worked together at the same senior home. They even once, as teenagers, dated the same girl at the same time, while working different shifts at the same pizza shop. This is a strange tale, isn't it? This lasted a week until they realised it. Oh, right, fair enough. 2 parts of one body. Evan Brown, their older sister, called Evan, maybe named after... I forgot her name. She was in Westworld, the series. She was called Evan, wasn't she? Evan, I've forgotten. Their older sister said of their relationship in an interview, on February 28th, Andrew Nelson, who had been treated for cancer for years, went to feed the chickens and ducks that were gifts from Brown to her brothers. He had a heart attack and died. He was 55. Oh, crikey. Just hours later... Troy Nelson, who was stricken with grief, took his own life. He was 57, my age. I'm 57. No, well, 57 this year. I'm 56 at the moment. He had talked about it before. Brown, 66, said tearfully. He said, "Hey, if Andrew goes, I'm out of here. I'm checking out." Andrew would say the same thing, and then it really happened. Oh, dear. It's tragic, isn't it? What Troy Nelson left behind had become a sensation. After his death, family members posted pictures on social media of his massive, and really the key word is massive, collection of Star Trek memorabilia, which have now been shared thousands of times. The items took up 2 living rooms and a bedroom, all lined with bookshelves, according to Eleanor Hamill, one of the brothers' nieces. The centres of the rooms were lined with additional bookshelves, all packed to the brim to create aisles. There were jewellery cabinets serving as display cases. The shelves contained action figures, dolls, models of ships, posters, ornaments, lunchboxes, Legos, several toy phasers, and tricorders. I've got a phase pistol in there. Cost me a fortune, but I wanted it for me Enterprise NX-01 uniform cosplay. Anyway, several toy phasers and tricorders. For non-Trek fans, the phaser is a weapon and the tricorder is essentially a fancy smartphone. Multiple Star Trek lamps. Yes, there are Star Trek lamps. Yes, there are. Star Trek everything. I've got a Star Trek alarm clock upstairs. Trading cards, comic books, Trek-themed geeky tikis, stylised tiki mugs, right? Life-size cutouts of famous characters, a life-size captain's chair. Lego, you don't add an S for plural. Did it say Legos? Oh, I did say Legos, didn't it? Just read it as I see it. While it's impossible to account for every private collector in the world, Troy Nelson's collection is almost assuredly among the largest, if not the largest. The last additions to the collection came in the final weeks of his life, stuffed rabbits in Star Trek uniforms. "I've never seen a collection that size," said Russ Hasledge, the president of the International Federation of Trekkers, a Star Trek-themed non-profit that Hasledge founded with Gene Roddenberry, the creator of the franchise. And it's serious because they call themselves Trekkers, not Trekkies. Hasledge's, that's how you pronounce it, organisation opened in 2020 a Star Trek museum in Sandusky, Ohio, that has received donations of memorabilia from estates. Those collections pale in comparison to Troy Nelson's, he said. Hasledge has reached out to the family to ask about donations from the collection. The older brother's love of Star Trek began with the original series, which he'd watch with his siblings. It was our dinner meal, Brown said. When we had dinner, we were sitting in front of Star Trek. Troy Nelson began collecting in the... I might watch a bit of original series Trek tonight, actually, when I go to bed. Just fancy some. I wonder where I'm up to, because it's on Netflix, so it'll carry on from where I left off, and I can't remember what season I'm on. I think I'm on season 2, I think. Anyway, I can't remember where I'm up to. Where were we? Troy Nelson began collecting in the late 1970s. His first acquisition was a model version of the Starship Enterprise. Then came Star Trek conventions. Why the franchise was such a draw to him remains a mystery to his family. Because it's ace. Hope he has the Spock helmet with the marshmallow dispenser. Oh, and the marshmallow dispenser. Yes, the Spock helmet. That's the best Star Trek toy, isn't it? Because it's like, why? The big flashing light on it and everything, won't they? Oh, dear. Well, I'll be damned. A marshmallow. I really can't say. I mean, other than the fact that he was brainwashed with it at dinner time, Brown said, laughing. That sounds ridiculous. When we grew up, it's like dinner is at this time, and if you don't get it here at this time, you don't get dinner. So it might have been a comfort for him. Or maybe it's because it was Star Trek and it was amazing. I remember watching it as a kid, and as a kid, we didn't have a colour telly, so Star Trek was in black and white for me up until 1977. I think we got his first colour telly in 1977. I remember the day, actually, our colour telly was delivered, because it wasn't bought, it was a rental from, it wasn't Granada, it was another one, it was another company, and I can't remember which one it was. Might have been Radio Rentals or something like that. But they brought it, the colour TV. I was watching... what they call it now? It's the Saturday Banana. I think it was the Saturday Banana. One of these kids' Saturday morning shows that we had in the UK. There were the Mersey Pirate, the Saturday Banana, Tis Was, Swap Shop, stuff like that. All that. And I think it was the Saturday Banana. Anyway. And it was delivered, and suddenly I was watching TV in colour, and it was amazing. And then it broke. Not that long after we got it, and everybody were green, which were fine if you're watching The Incredible Hulk, which came a year later. I always had a colour TV. Well, you would, because you're American. But I was 16 when we first switched from antenna to cable, and I could watch things without static. You don't know you're born over there. I bet you had remote controls and everything, didn't you? We didn't have remotes. To get up and switch the bloody channel. The first remote control I had were on a VHS recorder, and the remote for it were on a wire. That was the first remote I ever had, and it were on a wire that you plugged in. Anyway, Troy Nelson would often monitor sites like eBay for items he didn't have. On several occasions, he would express frustration on losing out on an item before being able to bid on it until he found out the reason. Pardon me. Andrew already got it for him. Excuse me, Brown recalled. Our first TV only had the dials I had to change for my dad, but we got a remote when I was still young. Well, that's it. When you were still young, I probably had a kid. I bet you're not much older. I bet you're about the same age as my son, to be completely honest. I bet you are. Anyway, you young whippersnapper. Obsessive Star Trek fandom has long become an indelible part of pop culture, especially as the franchise, which has spawned several television series, movies, novels and comics, has been a long-running institution. There have been documentaries that have studied the subject, such as Trekkies in 1997. It's been lampooned on The Simpsons. I did a Simpsons quote earlier on with a, "Hey Spock, what do you want on a hot dog?" Surprise me. Saturday Night Live and Family Guy, and become a storyline in an episode of The West Wing. I've never seen The West Wing. Among many others, for dedicated fans, accruing collectibles isn't uncommon. I've got tons of stuff. Where were we? When you collect these things, you're closer to that genre that you enjoy so much, Hasledge said. When I first started in 1979, I was grabbing everything I could get my hands on because it was cool, and it was a piece of the whole Star Trek mythos. If you have these pieces, you're a part of that universe in some way. It turns out that collecting is a pursuit that runs in the family. Andrew Nelson collected maul swords. I've no idea what that is. Ryobi branded tools and statues of warrior women. What's a maul sword? Sci-Fi Quest, if you're awake, tell me what a maul sword is. Or is it mal sword? I've no idea. Anyway, Ryobi branded tools and statues of warrior women like Xena, the warrior princess. Brown's house has a wall with thousands of smashed pennies. And the living room windows are full of glass sugar and creamer bowls. It's a normal family, isn't it? It's a normal family. Brown's father, Bud Piers, collected salt and pepper shakers. Brown's father, Bud Piers, but yet they're called Nelson and she's their sister. Okay, must be same mother, different fathers or whatever. I'm assuming mall swords are just those cheap swords they sell in the fantasy stores in malls. Well, yeah, probably. Probably what Aiden's got on his bedroom wall. He's got his wall of death, and he's got like katanas and stuff like that up there. Where were we? Brown's father, Bud Piers, collected salt and pepper shakers, guns and knives. America. Troy and Andrew's father, Norman Nelson, oh, there we go, collected scrap metal and wood. You mean collected it, or it collected in the yard? Don't know. It's good to say I collect, cables and stuff, and things, cables and wires, USB cables. Them power leads, like using a kettle and computers. You never know, they might come in. Never throw them away. But anyway, can't say collect them, they just accumulate, don't they? Anyway, Hamill has 17 Christmas trees, all fully decorated with separate themes. Brown's son Michael, who is 36, remember Hamill is a cousin? Whatever. Brown's son Michael, who is 36, collects anything and everything related to black bears. When you have a large collection like that and it's displayed like that, Hamill said, and it's something that is important to you, it's often really calming to be in a space like that. It's just all the things that you love. It's soothing, yes it is. As far as Brown knew, Troy had no history of mental illness or any previous suicide attempts. After Andrew died, she received a distraught and frantic call from Troy with the news. She told him that she was on her way. Brown said she called him when she got to the Tacoma Bridge, no answer, and then again on the Manette Bridge, no answer. When she reached their home, the back door was open, and she found him. The phone call was the last time they spoke. Tragic. Sounds like Mick Foley. Don't know. I know Mick Foley is. I don't get the thingy. Anyway, the reference. But I know who Mick Foley is. Mankind and all that. Oh, 17 Christmas trees. Did he collect Christmas? I've no idea. I don't know. Does he always have Christmas trees up? All right, fair enough. Some people do that though, don't they? What's his face? Is it Alan Rickman? Him that plays Jack Reacher. Apparently he's always got a Christmas tree up in his house. He's obsessed with Christmas collecting. Oh, right, fair enough. I didn't know that. By the way, it's WrestleMania this weekend, isn't it? So that means I'm going to be having late nights, Saturday and Sunday night. Oh, God. Anyway, so there we go. Right, anyway, where were we? Troy Nelson did not leave a note, but did leave some things meticulously arranged by his computer, including a key to the house, burial plans for the two brothers, and bills. I don't really know what I thought, Brown said. All I could do was just scream. Oh, right. The Nelson family is boxing up Troy's... I wouldn't have screamed, you know. Well, being a man, but I thought you just stand there, don't you? Just not knowing what to do, basically. The Nelson family is boxing up Troy's Star Trek collection to prepare it for auction. Andrew's ashes will be placed in an urn carved in the likeness of supermodel Betty Page. He was a fan. Troy's ashes will be placed in a Star Trek lunchbox. And there's a, if you're having those sorts of thoughts. And the article originally appeared in the New York Times, apparently. All right. So there we go. So a tragedy, but hopefully his collection will find a good home. At Wingrace's house. So there we go. Very good. Nice figures there, aren't there? Some nice figures there. I wonder if Gary from Nerdrotic will give him an offer. Or has he got enough figures? Anyway, so there we go. Right. Let's move on. I think that was the last Star Trek one. Yes, it was. We're on to Doctor Who next. I'll accept. Doctor Who episode title... Oh, hang on, I'll put it on here. Crikey, there we go. Doctor Who, this one's from Deadline, Bruce Herring. Doctor Who episode titles unveiled, new guest star added to season premiere. Right, the Doctor Who simultaneous global premiere arrives in May. Yeah, we've got to watch in the middle of the bloody night. You know, just to appease you lot over there. And the episode titles for the season have now been revealed. In addition, another guest star has been added to the cast. In the Julie Ann Robinson-directed Space Babies, Golda Rochevelle, Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, joins Doctor Who as Jocelyn. I presume that's her. It's been amazing to see the whole world appreciate Golda's talents because of Bridgerton, and it's been an absolute joy to invite her to Cardiff to help launch Shooty and Millie's first season, said Russell T Davies, the Doctor Who showrunner. But he said it like, it's been amazing! That's how he talks. Well, Discovery premieres in the middle of that for me, so you can have that. Yeah, they'll be about the same, won't they, to be honest? I'm not building up much hope for this Doctor Who season, so... Swings and roundabouts, apples and oranges, etc. New episodes will debut weekly across BBC iPlayer, BBC One, and outside of the UK on Disney Plus where available. With the Stephen Moffat penned adventure Boom up next, followed by 73 Yards, Dot and Bubble, Rogue, and a two-part finale spread across 2 weeks, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and Empire of Death. That's a proper old-school Doctor Who title, innit? You know, from like the John Pertwee days or something like that. Empire of Death. Other guests this season include Callie Cook, Dame Sian Phillips, Alexander Devrient, or is it Alexander Devrient, Bav Joshi, Majid, oh my God, Medizadeh Valhaim, I'm presuming him, I don't know, her, them, Tashia Newell, and... Oh, God, that's an Irish name, innit? So that could be pronounced anything. It's probably something like, Susan or something. I bet it is. Springhall. Or Springle. They joined the previously announced guests, Michelle Greenidge, Angela Winter, Anita Dobson, Anurin Bernard, Yasmin Finney, Jonathan Groff, Gwyn Morris-Jones. That's a Welsh lady, I imagine. Maybe. Bonnie Langford, Genesis Linear, Gemma Redgrave, Lenny Rush, and Indira Varma. Right, so here we go. Doctor Who episode titles. Space Babies, written by Russell T Davies, directed by Julie Ann Robinson. The Devil's Cord. I won't go through them. Boom, Stephen Moffat. 73 Yards, Russell T Davies. Dot and Bubble, Russell T Davies. Rogue, Kate Herron, and Brianna Redman. I wonder what that's about, Rogue. Won't be about a crocodile, will it? Or a shark. I wonder what it's about. A rogue Time Lord, perchance. Or something else. The Legend of Ruby Sunday. Empire of Death. There we go. The new season of Doctor Who will premiere simultaneously for the first time on BBC iPlayer and Disney Plus. Pardon me, go heck. In the UK, the first 2 new episodes of the season will premiere on May 11th on BBC iPlayer and then on BBC One later that day. Episodes will drop on BBC iPlayer, followed by a primetime slot on BBC One each week following that. But can you imagine that, well, I imagine that the viewing figures will be well down if people are going to be watching it on the iPlayer. You know, I imagine it'll lose, I don't know, several 100,000 at least viewers for the, you know, the over-the-air broadcasts. You know, if people are watching it on the iPlayer first. Anyway. I think the theory going around that he's a rogue time agent. Yeah, we're close. But not John Barrowman because he was too naughty. Yes, he just kept putting his willy on people's shoulders, didn't he? He must have a big willy. I won't be able to do that. But that's my problem. Outside the UK, Doctor Who begins streaming 10th of May at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Grace, on Disney Plus, where available, giving audiences a simultaneous global launch. Blah, blah, blah. Right, there we go. 3 comments, what they're saying. Love Doctor Who, can't wait for May. H. Ellen Murphy. What's the bloody H for? I think we all figured that Moffat had to write at least one, which is great. Woo, can't wait for Kate Herron. Boring. So there we go. So we've got episode titles. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll give it a whirl. I'll watch the first episode, but if I don't like it, like the Christmas special, I'll turn it off. I'll turn the bugger off and not watch it. If it gets on my nerves, I'll turn the bugger off. Right. What's next? This one. Megalopolopolis. Right, there we go. It's from Inverse, Deis Johnston. Francis Ford Coppola's longtime passion project is being called a baffling sci-fi movie. One of the strangest movies of the year is getting shocking first reactions. Is that Adam Driver? It is, isn't it? It looks different. It looks like somebody else, and I can't think who he looks like. Anyway, a lot of filmmakers have a one for them and one for me mindset. They'll make one crowd-pleasing blockbuster in order to fund goodwill and connections for a smaller scale, more experimental movie. James Wan directed Aquaman only to turn round and make Malignant, which wasn't good. I don't know why people like that film. It's awful. It's hilarious. And it's not supposed to be. Anyway, Sam Raimi directed Spider-Man and then Drag Me to Hell. Tim Burton made Batman and then Ed Wood, blah, blah, blah. But one iconic director is taking one for me to an entirely new level, creating a project with total creative freedom. We finally have a clue as to what the movie will be like, and it sounds even weirder than we expected. Not as good as Basket Case. I haven't seen that for years, that one. Who did? Hang on. Basket Case. Where? Oh, I'm Malignant. I had that. Yeah. Yes. Because it was about a conjoined twin, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes. I'd forgot I'd mentioned Malignant up there. Yes. Bloody conjoined twins. Sorry, Siamese twins. They prefer to be called conjoined twins. And hillbillies prefer to be called, what is it, children of the soil, or whatever. But it ain't gonna happen. Another Simpsons reference. Right. Francis Ford Coppola, that's how I pronounce it, director of the Godfather trilogy and Apocalypse Now, or as I used to pronounce it when I was a kid, Apocalypse. I always remember, I might have told this story before. I first saw the word apocalypse in 2000 AD, the comic, 2000 AD, when it showed the Judge Death storylines in Judge Dredd in 2000 AD comic, and it showed Judge Death, and there were Judge Death, I can't remember, the Thor Horsemen, the Apocalypse, it were them, Judge Death, War, Famine, and what's the other one? Pestilence. And it said, the 4 horsemen of the, and I would pronounce it Apocalypse. That's what. So I'm thinking like Calypso, so I pronounced it Apocalypse. Apocalypse now has been planning his next movie, Megalopolis, since 1979. The story, a sci-fi thriller about an architect who wants to rebuild New York City as a utopia following a devastating incident, has been evolving over decades. And anyone asked about it seemed to describe a grand sweeping masterpiece that feels impossible to make, but that didn't stop Coppola from holding table reads with all-star casts. No, not Judge Reinhold. I bet there's been one in all these years that Judge Redd's been going, the comic. I bet there has been a Judge Reinhold. There has to have been, don't there? And a Judge Judy. I bet there's been a Judge Judy as well. Anyway. Finally, in 2019, Coppola decided not to wait on funders to take a chance on such risky material. Megalopolis. I can imagine Rowan Atkinson saying Megalopolis and making a real meal of it with his mouth. Megalopolis. Megalopolis became the ultimate creative project, self-funded, written and directed all by Coppola himself. Megalopolis by Coppola. Boasting a cast including Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito and Natalie Emmanuel. 5 years later, the movie was finally screened for potential buyers last week, and reactions were both exciting and confusing. And the only promotional image released for Megalopolis. There we go. It looks like looks like a screenshot, doesn't it? To be completely honest, maybe it is. Sources told Puck's Matthew Belloni, however you pronounce his name. I'd say it's pronounced Bellany. I am not full of baloney. That one attendee said the movie had zero commercial prospects, and good for him, and another said it was unflinching in how batshit crazy it is, while Deadline described it as crackling with ideas that fuse the past with the future with an epic and highly visual fable that plays perfectly on an IMAX screen. While this sounds like a sci-fi movie that's unlike anything we've seen before, no matter how much respect the zero commercial prospects earned Coppola, it doesn't mean anything if the movie isn't considered marketable enough for the general public. Netflix will buy it, or Apple. But this isn't just any indie movie. This is Francis Ford Coppola's passion project, the movie he sold off a chunk of his wine empire to afford. It's the ultimate one for me, the movie the patriarch of a filmmaking empire has always wanted to make. There may not be a market for a supremely weird sci-fi epic, but perhaps there's a market for Francis Ford Coppola's most personal movie yet. Megalopolis premieres sometime in 2024, if it gets bought. If he's screening for potential buyers in the last week, then fingers crossed, yes, it will screen sometimes. I won't be surprised if it does end up on Apple or Netflix or Amazon. I wouldn't be surprised if the studios are balking at it. Maybe one of the streamers will pitch in. Be interesting, won't it? I wonder if we'll ever get a film that's so expensive, probably directed by James Cameron or something like that, that it's too expensive even for one streaming service to the join forces like Netflix and Amazon join forces to buy it and show it on both of those. Like movie studios getting together, like Paramount and somebody else did for Titanic. I can't remember. Paramount or somebody else produced Titanic, didn't they? I can't remember which ones. Peacock should grab it. Whatever. One of the streaming services. Probably the one with the richest man in charge. So it'll probably be Amazon. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Mid-2025. That's what I'll say about everything. Anyway, let's move on. It sounds interesting. I must admit, it does sound interesting. And with being Francis Ford Coppola, it'll probably be all right, to be completely honest. Right, anyway. Gaming news, because I'm something of a gamer myself. Hang on. Elon will buy it and try to stream it on X. That's coming, isn't it? It's coming, is that? So he might do. You never know. It might be his first foray into streaming. Crikey. Right, here we go. Gaming news. Where's this from? Games Radar. Hope Bellingham. Despite reports of its cancellation and Embracer's $500 million sale. Let me have a drinky. While you carry on reading that title. The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is still alive and well. I didn't get very far into the original, to be honest. Saber Interactive CEO says the remake is still in the works. After years of uncertainty, Saber Interactive's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is alive and well, according to the company's CEO. In an interview with IGN, Saber Interactive CEO Matthew... how did that go wrong? Matthew Karch gives the briefest update on the mysterious title. After confirming that the studio kept hold of Knights of the Old Republic, even after parent company Embracer Group sold Saber in a $500 million deal earlier this year, Karch says the game is still in active development. It's clear and it's obvious that we're working on this. It's been in the press numerous times, Karch tells the outlet. What I will say is that the game is alive and well, and we're dedicated to making sure we exceed consumer expectations. This is one of the first official words we've had on the title so far since its reveal in 2021. Shortly before this, back in December 2023, the boss of Disney Gaming gave new hope for the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake by revealing that there's not a lot I can say on that point for some hopefully obvious reasons, hinting at the fact that the game is still being worked on. Just before this, Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier also gave insight into the situation, sharing that the game was still in the works after multiple sources claimed the project had been cancelled. There's still a lot to learn about the Knights of the Old Republic remake, and it's hard to predict exactly when we'll hear more about it, but the only thing we have to go off of is the teaser trailer which we got almost 4 years ago, which has since been removed from PlayStation and other official YouTube channels due to an expired music license. At least we now know that Knights of the Old Republic is on the way soon. Is that the trailer that had the fella doing his spin shoot that they copied in Book of Boba Fett? Or is that a different thing? I don't know. But anyway, so they're still working on Knights of the Old Republic remake. Which is cool. So there we go. As I said, I didn't get very far in the original. I've got it for the Xbox One. But I don't know. I can't remember how far I got into it. Not very. So there we go. Right. Let's move on. Nearly done. Right, a bit of rest in peace news now. An obituary. Been a few people actually died in the last 24 hours that are sci-fi people, but we'll just do this one. This from the Independent. Barbara Rush, death. It came from outer space. Actress died aged 97. Crikey, I hope I make it to 97. Hope I make it to 90. That'd be nice if I made it to 80, to be completely honest, but we'll see. Rush was also regular on 60s television series Peyton Place. Right, Barbara Rush, the actress, best known for her starring role in classic 50s sci-fi horror It Came From Outer Space, has died. She was 97. So many deaths of late. Last couple of days have been a few, but they've all been, the ones I've noticed, they've all been, of a good age, over 80 and stuff like that. Said the other day we had Louis Gossett Jr., didn't we? And there's been a couple of others as well. There's somebody that were in Star Trek. I can't remember her name, sorry. But she's been in the original series of Star Trek. She passed away. I think she was 85 or something like that. So there were a couple of self-deletes too. Oh, cracky. Anyway. But not in the sci-fi realm. It's just the sci-fi ones that I notice. Right, in a statement to Fox News, her daughter Claudia Cowan said on Sunday, 31st of March, "My wonderful mother passed away peacefully at 5:28 this evening. I was with her this morning and know she was waiting for me to return home safely to transition. Rush was born..." All right, so, yeah, that's what I mean. Wait for her to come home before she passed away. That's what she's trying to say. Rush was born in Denver in 1927 before growing up in Santa Barbara, where she enrolled in the theatre program at the University of California, Santa Barbara. After leaving university, she was signed to Paramount Pictures, who cast her in 1950's The Goldbergs and 1951's Oscar-winning sci-fi film When Worlds Collide. Great film. In 1953, Rush landed a George Pal film, George Pal produced. In 1953, Rush landed a leading role in It Came From Outer Space, a sci-fi classic from an original treatment by Fahrenheit 451 author Ray Bradbury. Another great film. A thoughtful sci-fi is It Came From Outer Space. Albeit with bug-eyed monsters. And it was originally a 3D film, wasn't it? I remember that as well. Don't remember it from the time it came out, because I wasn't born in 1953. I mean, I remember reading about it. Being in 3D. Ray Bradbury was such a wonderful man, Rush once told an interviewer. I remember I used to see him all the time, riding his bicycle all over Beverly Hills. I just loved him so much. But the thing about this movie was that he was really the first one who talked about aliens as superior beings, not just monsters trying to kill us. His idea was that if they were intelligent enough to get here, it was probably safe to say that they were a little smarter than us. In the film, Rush played a schoolteacher who, with her boyfriend Richard Carlson, who were in every 50s sci-fi film, spots a falling meteor that turns out to be an alien spacecraft. Although the aliens duplicate the bodies of local townspeople, they turn out to be mostly harmless, much like Earth. Rush won a Golden Globe for Most Promising Female Newcomer for her role in the film. The Golden Globe's going way back then, I didn't know that. There she is. Rush continued to star in major productions over the next 3 decades, including playing James Mason's wife in Bigger Than Life and Dean Martin's love interest in The Young Lions. She also appeared as Marianne, or Marion, whatever, alongside Martin, Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. and Bing Crosby in the Rat Pack comedy Robin and the Seven Hoods. On television, she was best known for her role in soap Peyton Place, playing the mother of a rebellious teenager whose marriage is breaking down. She also guest starred in shows including The Love Boat, Magnum P.I. and Murder, She Wrote, that famous series where Jessica Fletcher just kills people to get plots for her next book. Rush was married 3 times. Her first marriage was to actor Jeffrey Hunter, Star Trek reference, between 1950 and 1955. And then to publicist Warren Cowan between 1959 and 1969. Her final marriage was to sculptor Jim Grzalski from 1970 to 73, a relationship that began when they met at an Engelbert Humperdinck concert. She had 2 children, Christopher and Claudius. There we go. Rest in peace, Barbara Rush. And there she is. In 2019, so when's that? That was 5 years ago. So she was 92 then. So looking well for 92 there. Bless her. Bless her. There we go. So rest in peace, Barbara Rush. Like I said, there's been a few in the last couple of days. People passing away. It's very sad. But the ones I've seen have all been of a good age. So wrong bloody wind. So, I hope I live that long. Right, finally, last story. We'll not go through all of this because it's a long one. This is from Starburst, the Starburst website. 2024 Hugo Award finalists announced. So here we go. Right, the nominees for the 2024 Hugo Awards were announced in a ceremony at Levitation 2024, the 2024 British National Science Fiction, aka this year's EasterCon. The winners will be announced at Worldcon Glasgow 2024. Starburst magazine hopes to see you there. So if you're in Glasgow, you'll see it. Right, so congratulations, everyone has been nominated. So we won't go through everything because I can't be too much. So anyway, best novel, people I've never heard of. My books are not in there. Best novella. Again, I've never heard of any of them. Mercury. That's mentioned. But not mine. Best novelette. Again, people I've never heard of. Best short story. Best series. Is that in book form? Best graphic story or comic. That's one for Windgrace. Beowulf, written by Zach Wiener-Smith. Art by Boulay. Saga Volume 11. Lubeck, or Shubik, I don't know how to pronounce it. The Three Body Problem. Oh, I've heard of that one. Adapted from the novels. The Witches of World War II. Wonder Woman Historia, The Amazons. There we go. From DC. Best related work. What's that supposed to mean? No idea. But sounds interesting. All These Worlds. Chinese science fiction and oral history. A City on Mars. The culture, the drawings. A lot of Chinese stuff, isn't it? Everything's bloody China these days, isn't it? It's going to be like Firefly, Serenity. You know, the future's going to be like that, but we're all dropping Chinese words into our language because China's ended up ruling the world. Anyway. Best dramatic presentation, long form, i.e. film. Barbie, Dungeons and Dragons, Nimona, never heard of that. Poor Things, rings a bell. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, The Wandering Earth 2. I still haven't watched The Wandering Earth 1. They're on Netflix, aren't they? Well, that's it. Best short film. The Giggle, Doctor Who. Loki, Glorious Purpose, Last of Us, Star Trek Saves New Worlds, Those Old Scientists, Star Trek Saves New Worlds again, Subspace Rhapsody, yay! I like Star Trek Saves New Worlds. And they just do. Doctor Who, Wild Blue Yonder. There we go. Best game or interactive work, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3. There we go. I've not played any of them. Oh dear. Best editors, there we go. Best artists. Best, what the hell's a semi-prozine? I have no idea what that means. Let's look that up. What does semi-prozine mean? Before I have a chance to look, Windgrace will be telling me. Best fan cast. Is that what it means? Is it? No. Oh, semi-pro, as in, yes, a magazine that's semi-professional. Right, I get it. Right, get it. Semi-professional magazine, right. Fair enough. But, no, I'm not there. You know, that old Yorkshire geek's not there. Because I'm not even as good as a semi-pro. Best fanzine. Very good. Unofficial Hugo book club blog. Yeah, they would get in the running, wouldn't they? Because it's, the Hugo Awards. Best fan cast. No Magnificent Monday in there, is it? Oh dear. And anyway, all the lists, it's going on and on and on. Look, I can't go through them all. There you go. If you want to read it, follow the link. Follow the link. I've never heard of most of the stuff in it. So there we go. So I just thought I'd cover that. Follow the link if you want to read it in full. Right. We're done. We're done for the night. So there. Anyway, so let me just do that. Right, so we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. What's coming up? God, what day are we on? Wednesday? Friday. Oh, I haven't got my thing for it yet. Friday Night's Appointment with Fear this week. We're doing The Gorgon from Hammer Films. Me. I thought I had it on DVD. I've got a Hammer box set over there, and I thought it were in there among them, and I haven't got it. But don't worry, I've ordered it on Blu-ray, and it's coming tomorrow. Fingers crossed. So that's what we're watching. It's a good film, it's The Gorgon. It's one of those... I only discovered it, I think, in the last year or so. I don't think I'd ever seen it. And then it turned up, it were on a channel somewhere, probably Talking Pictures or somewhere like that. One of these, obscure TV channels. We're on in the middle of the night, and I caught it. I thought, bloody hell, that was good. And I'd never seen it before. And I thought it were in my box set, which I've had for years, but I've still not watched all of the films in it. and it's not in there. So anyway, so that's on Friday. And next Monday we're doing, if it's here, is it this one? Yes. We're doing Magnificent Mondays. We're doing Firefox. Cool. With Clint Eastwood as Major Mitchell Gant, I think. And then the Monday after, I've decided we're doing Forbidden Planet because I found my old HD DVD of it. I can't watch this, but, you know, whatever. It's packed to the brim with bloody special features that I can't watch. Never mind. So that's in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Right, we'll leave it there. So thanks, Windgrace, for keeping me company and setting me right about things that I didn't know. And I think Sci-Fi Quest has probably fallen asleep. Bless him. Hope he gets better soon. I can see him on YouTube again in short order. But we'll leave it there. Right. So, is that it? Am I done? Yeah. Right. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see thee.